Good morning, everyone on this call. My name is Coach Watts. It's a privilege to be here once more today to have this wonderful section with you guys. We usually do this every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we are always here to treat on this topic. Before I proceed this morning, I would like to acknowledge our coaches, top leaders in this house, Coach Mo and Coach Salusi, for this privilege they've given to me to present to you the Rqtmi Excel sheet template. Now, for those who are new on this call, if this is your first time of being on this call, I want to see 111 on the chart. If this is your first time, so I can know our newbies, then I can know how to relate this subject matter to them this morning, to you guys this morning. It promises to be mind-blowing. So if this is your first time of being here on this particular section, I need a 111 on the chart. So since this is your first time of being here, King Joseph, Diomi, Queen Salaku, King Olatunde, you are welcome. So at this point, I want you guys to listen carefully while you pick up your writing materials to jot down some important information. And if you have your questions, simply write them down so you can ask those questions after the section. I understand a lot of persons are going about their activities and they are just taking out time from what they are doing to attend this Zoom section. That is why I'll try as much as possible to see how I can round up this section within an hour. So let's get started for what we have today. Now, this is Rqtmi Motion International. This is the business of Rqtmi. I want you guys to understand that under Rqtmi, we have different teams. And with you here today is Rqtmi Motion International. Every team has their style of trading, their style of doing things. Likewise, we in Rqtmi Motion International, we have our own style of doing things. Now, we talk about robot trading for you. The way and manner the robot will be trading for you is based on a configuration or a particular settings. Now, these settings, where do you get these settings from? This setting is gotten from this Excel sheet template I'm going to be explaining to you today. Now, this is the dashboard of the Excel sheet template. This is how the dashboard looks. And if you look at the dashboard, we have Rqtmi Magic 1 down to Magic 8. These different magics or settings depends on your capital that you are using. Depends on your capital you are making use of. Now, for Magic 1, it's a minimum capital of 320. If you have 320, if you have 320 for Magic 1, if you have 320, minimum capital of 320, you can make use of Magic 1. Magic 3 is minimum capital of $100. Then Magic 5 is minimum capital of 520. You might be wondering why did I skip Magic 2, Magic 4, and every other magic. For now, because we are in a bull season, we make emphasis of, or we focus on this Magic 1, 3, and Magic 4, which are used for the bull season. So I want you guys to pay attention. Last week, we treated a Magic 1. The upper week, we treated Magic 3, which means minimum capital of $100. This week, we are going to talk about Magic 5, which is minimum capital of 520. So I am going, and you see that Magic 5 says it's covered for 50% dip. What does that mean, covered for 50% dip? Let's assume we are using a capital of 520 to trade. Now, for your 520 to be exhausted across different levels like this, which I'm going to explain, let's assume your 520 is distributed from this point down to this point. All your entire 520 has entered into the trade. At that point, you say it has dipped by minus 50%. Now, when it has dipped by minus 50%, no cause for alarm. As soon as the price starts going up, it starts selling across this different level and starts giving you your profit until it closes the entire trade. That is what is meant by 50% dip. The same thing applies to 25% dip for Magic 3, minimum capital of $100. While the same thing applies for Magic 1, which covers for 30% deal. That is the same illustration. So at this point now, we are going to focus on Magic 5, which says it's a minimum capital of 520. So what does Magic 5 look like? Let's go to Magic 5 now. Now, when you are using your laptop, you're going to see these different magics here. Down here, like this, down to Magic 5. If you are making use of your phone, most likely you're going to see it on top of your screen here. So you just click on Magic 5 and it takes you to Magic 5 settings, just this way. This is Magic 5 settings. Just this way. Now for Magic 5, if you look at it, it says that minimum capital to use for Magic 5 is 520. What does it mean? The least capital you can use using this setting is $520. So meaning if you have $1,500 for instance, if you have $1,500 for instance, you can also use $1,500 with this strategy. You can also use 1,000 with this strategy. You can also use 900. You can also use 800 with this same strategy. Now, but there's what we call risk management. Risk management. If you have, for instance, $1,040, instead of you to use this entire $1,040 to trade one coin, we tell you to do what is called risk management. You divide it into two. Once you divide it into two, it means you are trading 2 coins at a time, which is 520, 520, 520, 520, meaning 2 coins at a time, which is meaning you are not putting your eggs in just one basket. You are diversifying your portfolio. If you have 520, let's say you have 1,500. If you divide it by, you can trade 2 coins using 520, 520. Whatever is left for that 520, which is 500, which is not up to your 520, you can use it to trade Magic 1, which is minimum of 320. That is how you diversify your portfolio. So don't always use your entire money. Let's say, for instance, you have $2,000. You divide 2,000 by 520, it will tell you the number of coins you can trade, 4 coins at a time. So you do risk management 4 coins at a time. 4 coins at a time. So at this point in time, now for 520, let's assume we have a minimum capital of 520. Israel, stop that. Let's say you have the minimum capital of 520. Now you carry your 520, and when you want to improve, okay, to start with, let me start explaining each parameter, what it means. Now, when you talk about on the extension, you see risk type. In your royal queue, you are going to put, when you get to your settings in your royal queue and you want to compute these parameters, where you are seeing risk type, you are going to put the word radical there. You are going to put the word radical there. Then, when you get to remark, listen to me carefully. When you get to remark, if you are using 520, for instance, on the remark, you don't put 520. You are going to do 520 minus 20, which is going to give you 500. It's going to give you 500. So what you are going to do on the remark is to put 500. So I will come to this remark and I'll put here 500. So once I put 500 here, if I come down to look at my multiple buy ratio, look at this multiple buy ratio. For you to know if you have computed the right capital, you come down here and look at here. You are seeing a total of 520. You are seeing a total of 520, meaning your settings is for 520. Let's do another example. If you are using, for instance, let's say you are using $800. Even when I said you should do that, you should diversify. But let's assume you want to use $100, $800 on this coin. On your remark, if you don't put $800, you must do $800 minus 20. 20, it will give you $780. Now, when it gives you that, it is that $780, you are going to come here and compute $780. Then when you go up, when you check your multiple buyer issue and you come down, you are going to see 800, meaning that capital of 800, it is the settings for $800 you are making use of. Take note. And someone will be wondering, where is this $20? Where am I bringing this $20 from? This $20 is as a result of this first buy-in amount. This first buy amount, which is 20. So your main capital minus 20, that is what you are going, any answer you get, that is what you are going to put in your remark. I hope this is clear. Now, for first buying amount, I love using a physical reality to explain this first buying amount so you understand it better. Let's assume now we have an agreement that I'm taking $800 to the market, or let me still use 520 that I was using, which is 520, that is 480. Abi? No. 500, sorry. That is 500. Okay. So let's assume I'm taking 520 to the market. I want to go to the market and I have 520 with me. I want to go and buy a product that you people can relate with, which is pepper, P for pepper, in the market. Now, each time I go to that particular market, I have a friend shop, which is known as shop A. Based on that sentiment, friendship sentiment, I usually visit he or her shop to buy pepper first. And I have in mind to go through 24 other shops to buy pepper at a cheaper rate. Now, when I got to my friend's shop to buy pepper, I asked her how much she's selling pepper. She said she's selling pepper for $7. After much negotiation, she decided to sell pepper for me for $5, each pepper for $5. Now, in my mind, before I left the house, I have in mind a fixed amount of money I want to spend in my friend's shop. Out of this 520, it is fixed. I'm not going to change it for any reason. So that amount I have in mind to spend was $20. This amount is fees that I'm going to spend in my friend's shop. No matter what she's going to tell me, this is the amount I'm willing to spend in this shop. Now, having said this, getting to the market, I now have to visit my friend's shop, and she said one pepper cost $5. So I was willing to spend $20 to buy that pepper. So this amount of money I originally have in mind, fees to spend in my friend's shop, is what is referred to as first buying amount. Meaning from this 520, the first amount the robber will use in buying pepper at this $5 is $20. So first buying amount refers to the amount which I am willing to spend in that my friend's shop. It is fixed. No matter the situation, it is fixed. That is how I can explain first buying amount. That is how I can explain first buying amount. Who is writing on my screen? Please, Kikilo, please, you are writing on my screen. Stop that, please. So open position double do not enable. Going back again to the illustration 520, and I visited my friend's shop, shop A. I was willing to spend $20. I'm also going to visit from shop 1 to shop 24 also to buy the same pepper. Now, maybe I got to my friend's shop and my friend said pepper is $5 and I'm willing to spend $20. But now my friend was now talking into me that the quality of pepper is nice, it's from US, it's from this pepper is quality is the best, you cannot see it in any other shop. Why don't you buy more? It's going to start. She was just talking into me to spend more than I planned for. So finally, she succeeded in talking into me, Me that I had in mind to spend just $20 in my friend shop. Eventually, I had to spend double it, which is I brought out another $20 again, which is total of $40 to buy. So open position double is what I'm trying to explain. Do not enable it. If you enable it, this is the consequences. So my friend she has on my Mumu button, I've spent more than what I plan to spend in our shop. So I'm now spending $40. So the implication of enabling this open position double is I will not have sufficient money to go through these 24 shops I want to go through. So no matter what the situation, do not enable your open position double. If you enable your open position double, you are telling the robot that your first buying amount, take it twice. So instead of taking 20, take 40. And the implication is that you will not have enough money to go through these 24 shops, which I am making reference to here. Please take note of that. What is AI margin calls? What is AI margin calls? Now, for AI margin call, do not enable. Now, remember we said that this boat is a semi-automated boat. Why is it semi-automated? For you to have control, ownership over what the robot does. Meaning the way the robot will be buying and selling, you are the one that give it that command. Now, what is the command? The command is this Excel sheet we are talking about. So if you enable the AI margin call, you are telling the AI that go against our settings, these settings that I'm giving to you, buy at your discretion, sell at your own discretion, ignore these parameters and do your own thing, which we don't want that to happen. So your AI margin call should not be enabled. Now, for margin call limits refers to the number of shops you want to visit after you visit your friend shop A. We have in mind to go through to buy pepper through 24 other shops apart from my friend shop. So that is what is called margin call limit. So in royalty or in trading, we call it margin call limit. But in reality, I was not choosing the word shop for you to relate. So for all position take profit ratio, 3%, I will always come back to this. Remember me. In case I forget, I will come back to this. Remember me. Then the next one is all position take profit callback, which is 0.01. Now, what is the meaning of all position take profit callback? Now, for those of you who are here who have had the chance to trade manually in Binance, or you have traded manually in Bybit, you will understand that these futures that I'm going to explain to you now, it cannot be seen in any of the exchanges. Now, for all position take profit callback, how does it work? It works with a principle that is very interesting. Let's assume that I want to buy pepper at $5, for instance. This is the entering point where I will see pepper at $5. And I want to come out when the price is $10. You will agree with me that between this $5 to this $10 is a $5 profit. So let's assume I enter at this point and the market goes like this. You know, the crypto market does not just go straight. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And there was a sudden spike. Now, I was supposed to come out here. This was my exit point. Because there was this sudden spike, the robot could not trigger the sell for me to give me this my profit alongside with my capital. So it held it because of this sudden spike. So for it to give me my profit of $5, it has to return, this sudden spike has to return by 0.01. So let's assume it returned by 0.01 and stopped here. This was the return. And at this point, what we're seeing here is a price level of $12. Now, you will agree with me that between this $10 and this $12, there is a $2 profit here. So because of this sudden spike, the robot could not, because of this sudden spike, the robot could not release my $5 profits. It was waiting for the spike to return by 0.01, which it has returned, but stopped at a level of $12, at the price of $12. Now, between $10 to $12, there's a $2 here. So as the robot returns by 0.01, what it will do at that point is that this $2 profit, it's going to add it to my $5 profit, giving me total of $7 at the end of the day, alongside with my capital. So that is how the whole position take profit cover works. That is the principle at which it works with. So I believe that is clear. Now, for buying callback, how does buying callback works? Now, buying callbacks works with the same principle I just explained now. But for buying callback, it helps you when you want to buy. Remember, we trade on the spot market, and the idea of the spot market is to buy as cheap as possible, buy low, and when the price is going up, you sell high. So what happens now is, now you want to buy pepper at $5. You are currently seeing pepper at $10 right now. So you have set a preset price that this is where your boat should peak, and pepper was there. And the market started coming down, and suddenly there was a sudden spike. Now, instead of your boat to peak at this $5, you have instructed it to peak. Because of this sudden spike, it did not peak. Rather, it waits for a return of 0.01. Now, maybe at this return, this level of 0.01, what was there was $4. So instead of peaking at this $5, it will therefore peak at this $4, thereby buying at a more cheaper price for you. Buying at a more cheaper price for you. So that is how buy-in callback works. Then for distributed take profit allocation, please, fifth call to the 24th call. Fifth call to the 24th call. Sorry. From fifth call to the 24th call, I'm going to talk about ratio and distribution take profit allocation from fifth call to the 24th call the same time. So remind me just in case I forget. So let's move to the next one. Now we have stop position take profit callback. If you look at the word stop position take profit callback, it works with the same principle as all position take profit callback. Now, where does this whole position take profit callback applies in your trade? It is applied in that your friend shop. That your friend shop, which is this first 20. Then the first out of the 24 shops they are going to enter, the first 4 shops, shop 1, shop 2, shop 3, and shop 4. This is where you experience that whole position take profit callback I explained earlier. But once it gets to the fifth shop to the 24th shop, your sub position take profit, that is where you are going to experience it. So all position take profit callback works with the same principle as sub position take profit callback, but the difference is at what level are they going to take place? Are you going to experience it? For all position take profit callback, you are going to experience it from that my friend shop, the first shop, second shop, third shop, and fourth shop. In this Excel sheet, my friend shop is referred as the first buying amount. The first shop here is referred to this first call that you are seeing down here. This first call, which is the first shop, second call, which is the second shop, third call, which is the third shop, fourth call, which is the fourth call. So that is where you are going to experience the whole position take profit. But once it gets to the fifth call, this fifth call down to the 24th shop, you are going to experience your stop position take profit callback there. I hope this is clear. Then for strategy period, we have 2 types of strategy period. We have circle, and one shot, which I'm going to explain now. For circle, now circle is meant for people who do not have time based on the nature of your job or your business. You really do have time, but you are interested in Rqtmi. So if you don't have time, you should have money. You should have enough capital. You should have from like I think 7,000 plus, $7,000, 13,000 plus, 25,000 plus, thereabout. we are going to choose a set of coin that have strong fundamental cases, that have their own blockchain, that are highly volatile. Let's say, for instance, if you have like 13,000 plus, we are going to put like 25 different coins for you. Coin A, coin B, coin C, up to coin D, up to 25. Now we are going to distribute this your 13,000, divide it into, if you are using Magic 5, you can put 5, 5, 20 on each of them and program it 2% each to take 2% profit on each of them. So what it means is that if coin A sells, automatically the robot will pick it again and continue to trade. If coin B delivers 2%, automatic, the bot will pick it again by itself. All you need to do at that point is learn how to transfer your profit from your spot wallet to your funding wallet, so that the robot will not be using your profit alongside with your capital again. So that is all you need to learn how to do. So we call it autopilot. We also call it circle or autopilot. You are not interested in learning skill. You don't have the time to learn the skill, but you have enough capital that you can inject into the business. This is meant for you. Now, what is the profit like for using? What is the profit like for using circle? We say the profit for using circle is average monthly profit between 5% to 50% of your capital monthly. Average monthly profit is 5% to 50% of your capital monthly. So what does it mean? That if you have started this business in January and the first month you were able to make 70% of your capital. The second month, you were able to make 50% of your capital. The third month, you were able to make, let's say, 30% of your capital. The fourth month, let's say because the market is down, you didn't even make anything that month, 0%. So for 4 months, because you have traded for 4 months, once you do 70 plus 50 plus 30 plus 0, which is total of 150, if you divide it by 4, you will be having 33 point something percent. So what it means is that on each month, if you divide it across the 4 months, you have made 33% of your capital on each month. That is what we meant by average monthly profit. Average monthly profit. Take note of that, please. So that is what the profit is like for using Circle. Now let's go to one shot. Now, one shot is for people who do not have money. Like, no, not you do not have money, you have money. But for people who want to learn skill, you want to learn this skill, how to do this thing, you want to impart it in your children, your loved ones, your wives. You just want to create an impact, teach people things, how they can make money. So you need to learn the skill. And it's also for people who do not have enough capital. Maybe you are using $100 to trade. So you want to learn the skill to multiply your money. This one shot is meant for you. Now, how does one shot work? Let's say you are using 520 to trade and you are using Magic 3. Now, because we say minimum coin, if you are using Magic 5 rather, minimum coin you can use on a coin using Magic 5 is 520. You cannot use anything less than 520 if you are using Magic 5. Likewise, if you are using Magic 3, the minimum amount you can use in one coin for Magic 3 is $100. You cannot use less than that. The minimum coin you can use for Magic 1 is 320. You cannot use less than that. Please take note of that. Now, let's assume you are trading using Magic 5. And now, if this coin sells and you take like, let's say you take like 3% of 520, that's what you took, and the coin delivers 3%, the robot will not automatically pick this. You again, you will analyze another coin, or you pick a signal from our signal group. Maybe they sent a signal of coin B. Your coin A have sold. You saw the signal and you enter the signal. This signal is saying 5%. So you're entering it with your 520 again, 5%, and it delivers. Once it delivers, you see another signal, coin C. You will go and trade coin C again. So you are doing it yourself. The robot is not automatically picking it for you. And maybe they say, Coincy, take 10% on it. So that is how one shot works. You learn the skill on how to use the bots. You learn the skill on how to analyze these things yourself. And we are here to teach you everything as soon as you come on board. It's a gradual process. You must not learn everything at a go. As you keep showing up, you keep learning. That is how it works. So for one shot, what is the average monthly profit like for one shot? The average monthly profit is between 5% to 100% of your capital monthly. 5% to 100% of your capital monthly. So what it means is that if the first month you made 80% in January, in February you did maybe you did 40%. In March, maybe you did another 60%. Then in April, the market is down, you do not even make anything. So when you do 80 plus 60 plus 40, that is total of 180 plus 0. So 180 divided by 4, that will be giving you about 40 something points. I'm not sure, but let's say 44. If you can do your mathematics from your end. Okay, let me do it, let me be sure. Because some people will still find that confusing. 180 divided by the 4 months, which is 45%. So on each of the months, you made 45% of your capital. That is what is meant by average monthly profit, between 5% to 100% of your capital. This is a marketplace. We do pure trading here. It's not Ponzi scheme that will promise you a fixed amount of money. It obeys the law of demand and supply. Check your real business. It's not every day you make profit from your real business. So that is why you say average monthly profit between 5% to 100% of your capital. So fast forward to the next one online is margin configuration. For margin configuration, is divided into 2 parts, which I am going to talk about. Now, that will bring me to discuss about distributed take profit allocation from 5th call to the 24th call, and all position take profit ratio 3%. So pay attention, everyone, please pay attention. Now, for margin configuration is divided into 2 parts. Margin call drop and multiple buying issue. So I would like to use that same illustration of my friend shop again. Now, I took 520 to the market. I visited my friend's shop, and I want to also visit 24 shops. Now, I met my friend. After much negotiation, she said pepper was $7. I priced to $5. And she accepted, and I was okay with this price. I took $20 from here, which is my first buying amount, and I was able to get 4 pieces of pepper at $5 each. So now that I have spent $20 in my friend's shop, what is left from this money is $500. I also want to use this $500 to buy pepper across these 24 shops. But before I start entering each of the shops, now this 24 shop, take note that this first call to 24 call is referred to as the shops I'm talking about. Now, for me to first enter shop 1, which is called first call 1, the price needs to drop by 0.2. Like, what price am I talking about? This price that I bought in my friend's shop, this initial price, has to drop by 0.2%. This 0.2%. Once the price drop by 0.2%, let's assume a drop in the price by 0.2% will give me 4.9. Let's assume 4.9. So as soon as the price drop from $5 to $4.9, it will trigger me to enter the first shop, to buy in the first shop. It will trigger me to come into this first shop to buy, because the price has dropped from $5 to $4.9. So that drop in price, it means that it has dropped by 0.2%. So that is when I will enter the first shop. For me to enter the second shop, it means that this price, this new price now, has to drop by 0.5. Let's say a drop in the new price by 0.5 gave me 4.5. So as this new price dropped by 4.5, it will trigger me to enter the second shop, meaning it has dropped by 0.5. For me to enter the third shop, the same thing applies, that this new price has to drop by 0.2. Let's assume drop by 0.2 is $4. $4. So it means that since the price has dropped from 4.5 to $4, I need to enter the third shop. It has dropped by 0.2. For me to enter the fourth shop, it means that the price needs to drop by another 0.5. Let's assume the drop in 0.5 gives me a new price of 3.8. So when the price drops from $4 to 3.8, it will trigger me to enter the fifth shop. So that is how your robot keeps on buying, taking advantage on the drop in price. And we'll be using this your money to be buying bit by bit across the different levels until it dips to this point that it will spread your entire 520 to the 24th call. Now, at this point that it has used your entire 520 down to the 24 shops, at the end of the 24 shops, it means that that thing that I was explaining at the dashboard did by minus 50%. So I told you that when it dips by minus 50%, it means it has spread your entire 520 across different levels. So the different levels is from the first shop, which is the first buying amount, which is my friend's shop, down to the 24th shop. Your 520 have been spread across that as the price is dropping. At that point, you say that the market has dipped by minus 50%. That is why you see total of 50% here. So if you add 0.2, 0.5, 0.2, 0.5 down to this place, sum everything, it will give you 50. That is why we say at that point, it has dipped by minus 50%. All your capital, 520, have been spread across these shops. So at that point, there is no need to panic. All you need to do is wait patiently. This is where the magic lies, and pay attention to it, please. Now, before I proceed to where this magic lies, now that is that for margin call drop. That is how the margin call drops works. Then how does the multiple buy-in ratio work now? How does this multiple buy-in ratio work now? For multiple buy-in ratio, which is there. Now remember, when I took my 520 to the market, in my friend's shop, I knew how much I wanted to spend in that shop. I knew it was $20 from the 520 I want to spend. But something happened when I was about entering the first shop. As soon as I saw the price drop from my friend's shop, as soon as that $5 dropped to 4.9, it triggered me to enter the first shop. But I was confused. I don't know how much I am going to use to buy in that first shop. So how do I know how much I'm going to use to buy in that first shop? It is the multiple buy-in ratio that helps you to know across every shop how much you are going to use per time. So now that I use $220 in my friend shop, I'm left with $500. For this $500, now that I'm entering into the first shop to buy, how much am I going to use for this $500? It is simple. It's just you coming here, 1.3 times the first buying amount. What is the first buying amount? This amount I use in my friend's shop, that is referred to the first buying amount, which is 20. So when you do 1.3 times 20, I think that will give you $6. That will give you $6. So as soon as the price dropped from $5 to 4.9, it triggers you to enter the first shop. The amount that is going to be taken from your $500 is $6 at the first shop. Now, as soon as the price from 4.9 drops to 4.5, you are going to enter into the second shop. How much are you going to use in the second shop? The same thing, 5.0 times 20, which will give you $100. So you have used $6 in the first shop, $100 in the second shop. Now the third shop, once the price drop from 4.5 to 4.0, how much are you going to use in the third shop? 1.3 times 20, which is another $6. On the fourth shop too is the same thing, 5.0 times 20, which is another $100. So you see that you use $6 plus $100, that is 106, plus another $6, that is 112, plus another $100, that is 212. Now that is how it buys bit by bit, uses your money to buy bit by bit as the price is dropping. So until it finally comes down to this point and it finally buys to this 24th call, you will now be seeing your total 520 inside that trade. So at that point, you are in what we call floating loss. Floating loss is not a real law, it's not a permanent law. Now, this is the idea, the concept behind floating loss. Now that you're in a floating loss, it means that the market has dipped by minus 50%. At this point, just wait patiently. What happens is, as the price starts going up, it takes advantage on the movement, the volatility. As it starts going up, it tells the amount you use in buying, like this is 1.0 times 20, meaning you use $20 here. You use $20 there. Then 0.3 times, the next one is 0.3 times 20. You use $6 here. Okay, $6 here. Meaning 1.3 times 20 will not give me $6. It's more than that. 1.3 times 20. Give me $26. So sorry about this information. Here is $26. 1.3 times 20 is $26. 5.0 times 20 is 100. 1.3 times 20 is $26. So there is 26, 2600, 2600. Now it is when you come to this down, now it will give you 26, 26, 26, 26. That is how it will be buying. So across this level, as the price starts going up, it will sell the 24th call, which he used in what he used in buying in the 24th call is $20. It will give you 1.8% of $20. Where did the 1.8% come about? This is where I am using my distributed take profit from 5th call to the 24th call, which is 1.8%. So from this 5th call, to this 24th call, you'll be experiencing what we call soft sell. Now, this is how it was. As the price starts going up, it sells the 24th call and it gives you 1.8% of whatever you used in buying in the 24th shop. It gets to the 23rd shop, the same thing, 1.8% of whatever I use. 20 shop, the same thing. 21 shop, the same thing. 20 shop, the same thing. 19 shop, the same thing. 18 shop, the same thing. 17 shop, the same thing. You are waiting for it to get to the 16th shop. The market will go down again. It will buy 17, 18, 19. The market will go up again to say 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Remember, as he's selling them as individual and is giving you 1.8% of any amount you use in buying at that shop. So when it gets to 14, 1.8% of the amount you use in buying here, 13, 1.8% of the amount you use in buying here, you are waiting for it to get to 12. It will drop in price again by 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The price will increase again to say 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. All is giving you individually, it's selling them individually, and it's giving you 1.8%. It gets to the 8th call, it sells it and give you 1.8%. You are waiting for it to get to the 7th call. The price will drop again to buy 8, 9, 10, 11. The price will go up again to say 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. You are waiting for it to sell 6. The price will drop again to buy 6, 8, 9, 10. The price will go up again to say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 1.8%, 1.8% at that different shop. That's what it has been giving you. The price will come down again. It will buy 7, 8, 9. The price will go up again. It will sell 8, 7, 6, give you 1.8% each at this different shop. Now, this is where the catch is. Now, you have been making money downtrend. You see, there is a movement up and through. It is buying, selling, individual, giving you 1.8, 1%, making money for you downtrend. Even while the coin was down, it was giving you money downtrend. Now, this is the catch now. As soon as it gets to the fourth call, it does not sell the fourth call as individual, just like it was doing from 5th to the 24th. It was selling them individually. But when it gets to the fourth call, it combines the amount it used in buying fourth call, which is that $100 we calculated, the amount it used in buying the third call, which is 26, that is 100 plus 26, that is 126, plus another 100 on the second call, plus another, that is 226, plus another 26 again, that is 252 thereabouts. So when you combine 4, 3, 2, 1, you'll be getting total of 252 plus your 20, that is 272. That 20 from my friend's shop, that is 2. So it will combine the amount you used in my friend's shop, the first shop, second shop, third shop, and the fourth shop. Total everything together and give you your own position take profit ratio, which is 3%. 3%. So distributed take profit allocation is meant for 5th call to the 24th call, where it will be selling them individually and be giving you 1.8%, 1.8%. But as soon as it gets to the fourth call, what takes care of the fourth call down to the first, my friend shop, is all position take profit, which is 3%. And take note, 3% is the default take profit. At times, signal comes 4%, 5%, 10%, depending on how that signal was analyzed. So you can always edit this take profit depending on the take profit they gave you on the signal. So this is how it works, that even when the trade has gone against you downtrend, you are going to be making money downtrend. While you are waiting for the coin to get to the fourth call, combine the 4, 3, 2, 1, and that inflation, and sell and close the entire trade. So downtrend alone, you must have made like $5 because of the volatility downtrend. Then when it gets to this point, it can be giving you another $13. By the time it has sold 4, 3, 2, 1, and the first, it can be giving you another $13. So total amount you saw on that trade is $18. That is what you saw. So while you were waiting for the price to come up to that fourth call where it will sell and close the entire trade, this point that you were seeing small money, you were waiting, is what we call the patient time. That is the patience we are telling you of for the price to return, where it will sell off and give you your entire profit and capital. But while you were waiting, you were still seeing money downtrend. So if you are trading on a Binance exchange, these futures, you cannot see it. Once the market is down, you see that the value of your money has reduced. And that period that the market is down, you are not making anything. But using royalty, when the market is down, you'll be making money downtrend. And eventually, as the market returns up, it sells and closes the trade and give you your final profit while you have made profit downtrend. I hope this is clear. Now, this explanation is the default way. This explanation I just explained now is the default way Royal Q is expected to operate. This is the default way Royal Q is expected to operate. Naturally, without manipulation, without forcing it, without doing it. Once it picks that $20, once you put all these settings and your Royal Q picks the $20, it starts, as the price starts dropping, it starts buying for you naturally without you even forcing anything or manipulating anything. So this is known as the default settings. So we have two types of settings of strategy we make use of. We have the default settings, which I just explained to you now. Excuse me. Which I just explained to you now. The next one settings we have is what we call bull tactics. Take note of this, bull tactics. Now, bull tactics is divided into two. But because of time, I'm going to explain why. One, then you can go to our previous videos on these Tuesday classes on how to how to understand the Excel sheet template, you will see other videos where I explain the second one too. So we have under book that is, you have category 1 and category 2. So I'm going to talk about category 1. So if you want to know more about category 2, go to our YouTube channel. You will see this same topic where I explained category 2. So let's talk about category 1. Now, why from the word bull tactics? It means because we use these tactics when we are in the bull season. The crypto market is subdivided into two: the bear season and the bull season. So we are in the bull season. That is why we deploy these bull tactics. And in the bull tactics, we are using category 1. So how does category 1 work? Please pay attention. Please. It is very, very important. This part is very, very important. Now, for bull tactics category 1, bull tactics. Category 1. Now, what is the idea first? The idea is to manipulate the robot. Now, you see two people using 520 to trade. Two people using 520 to trade. One is making $13 from that 520. The other one is making $26 from that 520. They entered the same coin and took the same take profit of 3%, 3% for instance. They entered the same time, came out the same time. This one made $13 and this one made $26. What is the difference? Now, the difference is that this one, this $13 person, let's say trader A and trader B. Trader A was using it the default way, while trader B was manipulating it because he has the skill, he understands the robot, he knows how to manipulate the robot to get maximum results. So that is the difference between them. So that is why they pay attention to this. Now, using default settings and using bull advantage and their disadvantage. For default settings, the advantage is if the trade goes against you and dip by -50, while you are waiting for it to sell, you will still be enjoying subset downtrend, making small profit downtrend while you are waiting for the coin to go up. That is the advantage. But the disadvantage of bull tactics is that if your trade, if you are using 520, if your trade did not buy fifth call down and only buys from first call, second call, third call, fourth call, and goes up to sell 3%, that is when it will give you that $13. Are you seeing? That's why it will give you that $13. Meaning, what it means is that from your 520, it is only half of your money that entered into the trade. Meaning the robot did not use the entire 520. It just made use of half of your money and it went up and sold and gave you $13. So that is it for default settings. But for bull tactics, the idea of bull tactics is because probably you have seen that the market buys only from first call to fourth call and it goes up continuously, give you 3% of the half of the money that enter. You do it again, it's giving you the same thing. You do it again, it's giving you the. You're not saying no. Let me deploy bull tactics. Since it's not buying fifth call, I want 100% of my capital to enter from my friend shop down to the fourth shop. From the first buyer down to the fourth shop, you want 100% of your capital to enter. That is bull tactics. So what you are saying is that after you have made that decision, what you are saying is that you are not interested in fifth call down to the 24th shop. You just want that 100% of your capital, which is the entire 520, should enter from the first buying amount, which is my friend shop, down to the fourth call. So how do you do it? Now, knowing that if it buys naturally, the highest you can get from my friend shop to the fourth shop is 270 something, whether it's 272. That's the highest money you can see. So how is it possible that when it buys from my friend shop to the fourth shop, I'll be seeing the entire 520? That now brings us to what is known as manual replenishment, or we call it manual buy. The idea of manual replenishment or manual buy is that you are buying against the robot wish. You are forcing some amount of money. Thereafter, the robot will now continue to start buying naturally by itself. But you need to manipulate to force that money for you to be seeing your entire 520 from first call to fourth call. So how do you now do this manual replenishment? And at what point do you inject the manual buy, that amount, into the robot? So this is what we want to talk about now. So for the boot tactics, you category 1, you deploy what you call manual buy. Category 1, we do manual replenishment. So how do we do this manual replenishment? It is, you don't just force any amount of money that come into your head. It is a calculation. Now, how do you calculate it? The first step is, since you said you are not interested in this fifth call, down. You are not interested in this, down. What you are interested in is from your first buying amount. Okay, let me close. You are not interested for this fifth call, down. All you are interested in is from this first buying amount, first shop, second shop, third shop to fourth shop. You want the 100% of your capital to be there. So what is 100% of your capital? It means that you want the entire 520. You want the entire 520 to be inside here. Now, this is how to do it. First step, you make use of the multiple buying ratio. Now, because you don't want the fifth call, you are going to log the fifth call. First step, you log the fifth call. How do you log the fifth call? You just come here and put 50%. You put 50% here. Now, what it means is that, robot, do not buy the fifth call except it dips by 50%. That is when you should buy the fifth call. So even if the market comes down by first, second, third, fourth, if it has not dipped by 50%, it will not trigger, the robot will not trigger to buy. That is what it means. So after locking it by 50%, what you need to do is your first buying amount, that is the first call, is 1.3. First step, step 1, please, step 1. The multiple buying issue, you sum it. You sum the multiple buying issue from the first call to the fourth call, from the first shop to the fourth shop. So 1.3 plus 5.0 plus another 1.3 plus another 5.0, which will give me 10, 2.6, which is 12.6. That is what I will get. Now, once you get 12.6, second step, this 12.6 that you got, always add +1 to it, to the answer you got. Always add +1. Why are you adding +1? This +1 is as a result of the position this my friend shop or the first buying amount is occupying, which is always constant. So that is why we represent it as 1, which is 12 plus 12.6 plus 1, which is 13.6. Now, step 3, you multiply this answer, which is 13.6, times your first buying amount. What is your first buying amount? Is 20 times 20. So it will give you 248. This will give you 240. No, sorry. Let me check it. Not 248. 13.6 times 20 will give me 272. This will give me 272. Now, this answer you got now, step 4. Step 4. The answer you got now, take your capital. This is your capital of 520. Any capital you are using, 520 minus 272. Are you seeing? 272 will be equal to 248. 248. Now, this 248 is what you are going to use to manually buy. That is what you are going to use for manual replenishment. So step 1, you sum up the multiple buying ratio from first call to the fourth call. Since you are locking the fifth call, Step 2, the answer it gives you, always add it +1. That +1 is constant as a result of the position the first buying amount or that my friend shop is occupying. Step 3, you multiply it by the first buying amount, which is 20, always 20, which will give you 272. Then step 4, you subtract that 272 from your original capital, which is 520. So it will give you 248. That is the amount you are going to use for your manual replenishment. If you are using 1,000, let's say you are using 1,000 and we put, you know that why you are using 1,000, we cannot put 1,000 in here. We put 980 so that the total year will be seen will be 1,000. So if you are doing the multiple buy ratio, it is the same step, but it's just that the parameters, the figures have changed because of the capital you are using, but it is the same procedure you will use in calculating your manual replenishment. So now you have gotten the amount you are going to use for manual replenishment. The question now is, how do you now force in the money? At what point you are going to force in this 248? Now, once you force in this 248, this remaining 272 is what it is going to use to buy from first call to the fourth call, and you have your entire 520 inside the trade. Now, when do you want to force this 248 now? You want to force this 248 immediately after your robot, immediately after the robot picks your $20. Meaning immediately after you use this $20 to buy pepper in my friend's shop. Now, which is $5. Remember, I told you I bought pepper in my friend's shop for $5 with $20. So, and I was, before I want to enter this first shop, I'm waiting for the price to drop to 4.90. I was waiting for the price to drop to 4.90 for me to enter the first shop. So between this $5 and this 4.9, there are figures here. You have 4.99, you have 4.98, you have 4.97, these figures now here. So when do you want to force that 248? Immediately after your robot buys in that your friend's shop or pick the first buying amount 20 at $5. The next time you want to immediately force this 248 before it even comes to this first shop to buy. But for you to force this 248, you have to buy it cheaper than this $5. Remember, we are buying low so we can sell high. So when you want to do your manual replenishment, ensure that the price you are buying is cheaper than the $5 or the first price you bought, you use your $20 to buy. So at this point, I want to do my manual replenishment. I will do my manual replenishment when the price drops to about 4.99. When it drops from $5 to 4.99 or 4.97, within this range, that is when I will do my manual replenishment, thereby making me to buy cheaper than the first time the robot buys. So the more cheaper you buy, the faster you go out of the market. If you go and buy when this $5 has increased to $6, you are taking, it means it is going to take you longer time to come out of the market. So take note, you want to do your manual replenishment. Immediately your robot picks your $20 first. Then when it picks the $20, you want to know at which price did it pick the $20. If it's $5, it pick it the $20. Meaning for you to do your manual replenishment, the price needs to be lower than this $5. So if you see the price drop to 4.99, you can do your manual replenishment, or 4.98, you can do your manual replenishment. Now, let's assume that the price was very far. You were not able to meet this, and it has come down to this 4.9 to enter the first shop. Yes, you can still do your manual replenishment, but if you want to do your manual replenishment, let it be cheaper than 4.90. You cannot do it at 4.89 or 4. Always do your manual replenishment cheaper. So if you cannot meet after I pick the first buying amount, maybe after I pick this, immediately went down and bought this enter the first shop. you still want to do your manual replenishment, ensure you do it cheaper than the amount you used in buying in the first shop. That is how to do your manual replenishment. So once you inject that 248 successfully, by the time your robot buys, now by the time your robot picks your by the time your robot picks your first buying amount, which is 20, it picks your $20, and you now inject 248, it means total of what is inside that trade now is total of $268. Now you have already injected 248. It is yet to even buy the first shop, second shop, third shop, fourth shop, but you already have 268. Let's just imagine that the price did not come down further to buy first, second, third, or fourth, and the price just went up to give you 3%. It will be giving you 3% of 268 at that time, because you had to pump in money. You manipulated the robot. So someone who was using it defaultly, as the robot bids is $20, is waiting for the person for the trade to buy the first call, and the trade did not eventually come down to buy the first call, and it went up. It will just give that person 3% of $20. But you, because you forced money into it and the trade did not come down to buy the first call, as soon as it goes up, it gives you 3% of $208. So that is the skill we say we are going to teach you on how to use the robot. So that is why you see someone with 520 and another person with 520. That one is making small money from this one, is making, because he knows how to manipulate the both. He knows how to use both tactics, not only default settings. But however, by the time you have 268 and the market comes down, it buys the first call 26, he add it to 268, it buys the second call 100, you add it. By the time it buys to the fourth call, you are already having 520. But for someone using default setting, by the time you buy the 20th call, by the time it buys the first buying amount, which is 20, and it comes down here to buy first call, second call, third call, you'll be having 272 inside this trade. You'll be having 272 inside this trade. Now, eventually, by the time both of them goes up, maybe it now goes up to sell, this person will be getting 3% of 520, which is around $26. Why this person will be getting 3% of 272, which is $13. So that is the difference between default settings. But now, what is the disadvantage of these both tactics? Remember, I said they both have disadvantage and advantage. What I just explained is the advantage of both tactics for you, which will make you make more money, more profit, compared to someone who is using it in a default manner. So for the disadvantage, let's assume that your entire 100% of your capital, which is 520, is inside this trade already. From first call to fourth call, it's inside this trade. And you remember, you lock it at fifth call. This fifth call, you put 50% here. You told the robot not to buy the fifth call. Let's assume that the trade goes against you. It is not going deep further. Now, it's not deep by 50%. Once it's deep by 50%, the robot will want to trigger to buy more. But because you have used 100% of your capital from first call to fourth call, you don't have any money left for the robot to use to buy from fifth call to the sixth call. If you have extra money, you can put it, the robot will now use it to buy from fifth call to sixth call, so that you can be enjoying subset downtrend while you are waiting to make this major profit. But in a situation whereby the only money you are using to trade is 520, and you have used it from first call to the fourth call, 100% of your capital is inside, and the coin further dips and it gets to the fifth call, it cannot trigger. What it means that no money to buy fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. And remember, it's from fifth, sixth, seven, you'll be enjoying subset downtrend while you are waiting for your coin to sell finally. So because you use both tactics and you lock it at fifth call, it means that when the trade goes down, that period you are waiting for the coin to return so that it will sell and give you this major profit, you will not be seeing money downtrend. You will not be enjoying money down. So you are just waiting, you are not seeing money. But if you use default settings and the trade goes against you, while you are waiting to experience profit from this 272 from first call to fourth call, the other 270 something will be spread from fifth call to the 24th call, where you'll be enjoying software while you are waiting. So that is the advantage of boot tactics and default settings. So that is why we advise you that if you are trading, for instance, with 1,440, you do what they call risk management, divide it into two. It means each coin is 5520. So if you are trading 2 coins using 5520 each, you put one on default settings, put one on boot tactics. If you are trading on 4 coins, 5520 each, you put 2 on default settings, put 2 on boot tactics. If you are trading using 3 coins on 5520, you put, depending on how patient you are, if you are a very patient person, you can put 2 on boot tactics and put 1 on default settings. If you are not a patient person, put 2 on default settings and put 1 on boot tactics. Either way, you are going to get results. There is no how you are not going to get results. All we are saying is follow simple instruction and you will get it right. So that is that about this section. I think I have touched everything. That is how the difference between boot tactics and default settings. That is how you can take advantage to make more money while using boot tactics. It also has its own negative effect, and it has its own positive effect. So between magic 1, 3, and 5, take notes. Between magic 1, 3, and 5, the best of the best magic is magic 5. So even if you use default settings on magic 5, by the time it buys from first call to the fourth call, 50% of your capital is already inside that trade. Even if it does not go to buy fifth call, this call, if it sells, it will still give you good profits. That is why it is better. But if you are using magic 1, magic 3, it will not give you the kind of result magic 5 is going to give you. Just like magic 5 gives you magic 1 is better than magic 3. Magic 1 settings minimum of 320 is better than magic 3. Magic 5 settings of 520 is better than magic 3 and magic 1. Take note of that. So the best of the best magic is magic 5, but it's minimum capital of 520. So for those people who do not have up to 520, don't worry. If you have $100, stick to your $100 and build your capital. You will still get result, but you will not get fast result as someone who is using magic 1 and magic 5. That is how it works here. So at this point, I think we still have like 7 minutes to attend to questions. So if you have any question on the chat, please kindly drop your question on the chat. I can see some question on the chat. Is it possible to still see margin call 5, 6, and 7 order after using manual replenishment? I mean, I can. Yeah, I just explained. Okay. Yeah, it is possible. That is when you are using bull, that is category 2. For king rolling, it is possible while you are using bull, that is category 2. Now, okay, he wants to force me to explain bull, that is category 2 now. This is what he's saying now. You know, in boot tactics, I said you have category 1 and category 2. What I just explained is category 1. Now, category 2 is in between default settings and category 1. Remember, category 1 is to make enough profit from first call to fourth call. While default setting is when the trade goes against you, at least you still be seeing software. But there's something between these default settings and category 1, which is category 2. It's in between them. So the idea of category 2 is you lock it at the 10th call. You lock it at the 10th call and at the 11th call. This 11th call, not longer 5th call. Category 1, you lock it at the 5th call. But for category 2, you lock it at the 10th call, you put 50 here. Now, once you lock it at the 10th call, what you are going to do now, you are going to add that same step I told you. Now, this time around, you are going to add from first call to the 10th call. The multiple buying issue from first call to the 10th call, 1.3 plus 5.0.1, up to the 10th call. The answer it gives you, plus it plus 1, which that 1 is a constant from that my friend shop. Then the answer you get, multiply it by 20, that first buy-in amount. The answer you get, then subtract it from 520. you'll be getting 170. 170. Now for category 1, you use 248 for manual replenishment. But for category 2, you are going to use 170. Now, at what point are you going to inject this 170? The same way I explained. Immediately it picks your $20 at that $5 you bought in my friend's shop. As soon as you see the $5 drop to 4.99, anything lower than this one, you inject this 170 inside. At that point, you're having a total of 190 into the trade. Now, even if the coin does not come down to buy the first one and goes up to sell, it will be giving you 3% of 190. But let's assume that the price went deep further. It buy the first call, second call, third call, fourth call, fifth call, sixth call, seventh call, eighth call, ninth call, 10th call. As soon as you get to the 10th call, you will see your total capital of 520 inside the trade. Now, while you are waiting for it to go to the fourth call so that it will set to close, between 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you will be enjoying subset while you are waiting. But for both tactics, you will not enjoy this because you did not give room for this. That is what he was trying to say. King Rolling, I think this is okay. I just explained both tactics category. I should have sought your question now. If it is okay, I need a response from your own end, please. King Olatunde, please, coach, kindly explain more on short position take profit cover. Also, remark on Magic 1. Do we have to do that? Magic 1 is not, sorry, Magic 1 does, the first buy for Magic 1 is not 15. The first buy for Magic 1 is still 20, just as Magic 5. It is Magic 3 that the first buy for Magic 3 is 15. Please take note of that. The first buy for Magic 3 is 15. Now, once you get to Magic 3, on the remark, you don't subtract 100 minus 15. That capital you have, which is 100, either 100, 120, 150, you just put it on the remark. Don't do minus 15. It's only when you get to Magic 1 and Magic 5, you do that subtraction of 20. Please take note of that. Please take note of that. I believe I've answered that question. Someone's trade volume amount is 1,000. What magic was used and how he used Magic 5. We say Magic 5 is minimum of 520, meaning from 520 and above. From 520 and above, you can use it. And he used Magic 5. What magic used? How was that huge amount injected? It is in the same way he injected the amount. Once he used Magic 5, it is using $10,870 something. The first thing he did was that capital, this capital, the first thing he did is subtracted by 20. So when he subtracted by 20, the answer he got was what he put in the remark. And that gave him a parameter of 10,878. And now he's using category 1, where he's going to lock it at the fifth score. He does not want to see subset. So by the time he did his calculation, he got the amount that he's going to use for manual replenishment. So as soon as the rubber picks out $20, he injected that amount. The remaining amount, he had to spread it, the rubber spread the remaining amount from first call to the fourth call. And that is how you saw the $10,087 inside that trade. And it's taking 3%. 3% is at 2% when I posted that thing. 2% is already giving him $290 something. That is cool money. Multiply it times 1,600 and something, or 1,500 and something. And people are telling me there's no money. What are you talking? You don't have the skill and you don't have the capital. That's just the problem. If you have the skill, you know what you are doing. You can make money at any given time here. So this guy said, I used book at this one. After using 520, it went to Magicom. Then you did not distribute your money well. You cannot use 520 using book tactics category 1, and you still have money entering into your 5. That means you are using more than 520 now. That trade is taking more than $520. If you look at it now, it's taking more than $520. If it has start buying 5 to 7 is taking more than $520. That that is, you are over trading at this point. You are over trading at this point. So note that, noted. Thanks, but you have not explained the first question. I saw the first question. Going back, this is the last question I'm going to entertain. If there is almost time now. Now, you said I should explain short position take profit cover. Bros, the same way I explained whole position take profit cover, I said if I want to buy pepper at $5, if I want to buy pepper at $5, and I want to sell at $10, and it has entered from here. This is where I want to make a profit of $5 profit. I want to make $5 profit. Now, from this point to this point, this is where I'm supposed to get to and get out and make my 5. But there was a sudden spike up here, and this sudden spike has to return by 0.01. By 0.01. So at this point that there was a return is $12. Between this $10 to $12, there's a $2 profit here. $2 profit here. Now, instead of the robot to give you just your $5, because of this return by 0.01, it adds this extra $2 to your $5, thereby making an extra profit of $7 alongside with your capital. That is how the whole position take profit works. Now, this same principle is what the short position take profit works with, the same way. But the opposition take profit, you can experience this thing I just explained from the first buying amount to the fourth shop. That is where you can experience it. For short position, you experience it from the 5th call to the 24th call. That is the difference. They are the same principle. But when you say short, from the word short, from 5th call to the 24th call, that is where you experience such. I hope that is clear. At this point, we are going to end the section for today, please. For today. King Olatunde, I hope you are clear with this. If you are clear with this, I need a response on the chat. Then, if you got value from this section, I need the word value before we go. If you got value from this section, I need the word value before we go. If you got value from this section, I need the word value before we go. Okay? King Mohammed, thank you. King Olatunde, Coach Fahad, thanks. So thank you everyone for making it up. Queen Talako, thank you. Coach King, thank you. Queen Nike, thank you. Queen Adenike, thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. So we are going to meet same time, 11 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow is a very important section on mindset, risk management, mindset and risk management. It's a section you won't want to miss. Queen Linda, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone on this call, for making out time out of your busy schedule to come to listen to us. And I trust we are all going to have a lovely day ahead of us. Bye-bye from now. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day. Bye. Bye.